Okay guys, we're going to look at a quick market which is euro dollar.
Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, I'm the big fella Scruff. And what I'm trying to do is put trading in the real world. Maybe show you a trick or two along the way. So if that sounds good, do take a second to hit that little subscribe button. Genuinely helps. And if you find value, turn on the bell icon and smash the like. So let's have a look, see where we're up to, because it's looking pretty good at this moment in time. Now we're looking at euro dollar. Now I've already mapped this out and I've spoke to the guys. It's coming up to a half decent entry point, which is here. So I'm just going to drop a quick order in while we're talking, because it does look reasonably ready. And there we go. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm making the price come to me. It has to break this structure point in order to move up, and then I'm looking to come here. Now I have explained this already to the guys, but it's a bit of a difficult trade this. As you can see, we put in chart reads all the time. That one's already gone in. I also put in a bias. And the bias is here, which is what I'm going to draw the attention to, because it's currently 20 past 9. It's a buy, and it was telling me to wait for this at 9 o'clock. Now, been waiting about 20 minutes. Want to see how well it is. My worry is that because it's a C grade. Now, I like to trade A and B, but we're having a chat this morning in the morning call here, and I just wanted to put a couple of things into practice about what we were discussing. Now, one of the things that I should be doing is waiting, but one of the ways to wait is actually make certain that the price comes to you and you don't just enter for the sake of it. That's why I've got the order here, because it gives me time to adjust it and move around with it. Very simple. Now, what I was looking was a double break. 1, 2, okay, 2 breaks above that level, and then I'll look to go. But I put the order here, so it has to. Now it's thumped away a little bit, so I'll now just have to pay attention and watch this, because what might happen is if that closes under there, I don't particularly want to enter this. I'm going to follow the price down, and that's why that pending order is quite powerful, because if I just go right, double break in, I'd now be sitting in pain. I don't want that pain. Okay, so let's have a little look to see how we're building this up. Now, if we go out to the daily, see the market is essentially pushing down somewhat. And if I just take the drawings off for now, what you'll see is it's actually found a floor here, and it's pushing through. Now, if it's going to push right through, then it's going to come down here somewhere, okay, into the top of that cluster. And if it's really pushing, it's coming into this, okay. But that, if we move it down and we sort of just followed the trajectory, I mean, don't get me wrong, it can do it in a day, but that is quite far. That's maybe next week sometime, certainly end of this week. Okay, let's take it to the 4 hours, see what's happening. Well, there's your big drop. It's kind of consolidated and it's thinking about what it's doing. Again, it's found the floors, it's already swept that one out, and it's created a new one here, so it could be pushing down for that. Okay, so how far is that? That's like 25-30 pips maybe that it can push down. Fair enough. not out of the ordinary. And then there we go. That looks a little bit neater. So now what we have is there's your hourly candle and the order's sitting above it. All right. So I want to see some kind of reaction with this. All right. Now, whereabouts inside of this is this equation? Well, if we sort of flick these on and I draw in a fib just so I can show you, there's the last drive up to that level. It's at the 50, so it's pushing through and it's coming straight down into this section here, which is pre-marked. Now I can start looking to follow this down, which I will do on the top of sort of each 15-minute break. I'll look to see how that's going. Now at the minute, that's a good old thumper. And that's a good reason as to why you don't jump straight into the market. If I jump straight in, well, I'll be sitting in certainly about 20 pips worth of heat at the moment, which I don't want to, because it was a C trade. C trade's not good. It means it could easily have gone on itself. Well, there it is there. It fell away. Right? So I was right to keep that above. Now, if I want to be, there's a nice entry now, which is there. Okay. Could look to enter down here somewhere. Now, the chances are that might have become a better position. Has it? Well, it has. All right. So what I'm going to do, my premise is still long. I'm just going to hold on to this just so you can see what it is that I'm doing. I have this marked out. I'll just take them fibs off because I don't need it. This grey box is the outer extreme of the market. If I push it out to an hour, upper extreme, lower extreme, it's pushing down, so it could easily get down it, maybe even into this red and move up. But I'm looking for a long only, so I'm just going to follow it down and then catch its retracement. Patience is the key. So let me play it out and I'll come back to you when I've done it. And I want roughly about 10 pips, which is from there into one of these. Okay, get 50 quid. I've already done okay. I mean, I've got nothing running. That's one order that's in, but that's what I did sort of last night while I was sort of messing around. Okay, so I don't have to do a lot to cover today's wages. All right, catch you in a bit. Okay guys, I've got to go into a meeting just now. I'll be in it for maybe an hour and a half or so. It's tough at the top, you know. Anyway, what's happening here? We've already got some money out of it. All right. Not the best, just trying to get it positioned for a good run. Now, my belief in it is still the same. So I've got some pending orders. I'm not worried about this heat because it's not a great deal. And it's not something I'm going to be stressing about. But I've also opened up this position here. Let's get rid of this lot so you can see it. And the premise of this trade is I seen this. Now, it should really be staging to the upper side because all the pressure is to the upper side. However, whenever you see an overextended move like that, and if I just drop this out slightly to a 15-minute, you can see exactly how aggressive that is. That has to retrace. So as long as it doesn't breach the top here, I'm looking for this to come back on itself just to get a few quid. And it's just because it sticks out like a sore thumb. It's an accelerant. It's not holding on to the tops. So I'm just watching for it to come back. So we'll keep half an eye on that as well. And the other one obviously is the euro. And it's starting to play ball, as we can see. And that's the chime telling me it's time to go in. So I'll come back in an hour or so and we'll see how well they've done. And we'll take it from there. Okay guys, I'm back. Had a good little chat with Del there, so a little salute to you. Real good one-to-one. Showing the mechanics of how all of this works. And I'm kind of putting that into practice right now. Now, we're going to look at 3 charts that I've got running. I've already had money out of this one. Which is there. You can see that sort of just topping along quite nicely. So I'm not really worried about this being in a loss because I've already got the best part of it paid off. This is due a retracement, which is all stacked in. So I'm going to let that run out. Now what we've also got is the one that you saw me set up, which was this one. Now, that one's playing quite nice as we stand. But I'm keeping half an eye on the DAX, which I may well trade this afternoon because it's starting to look pretty darn good. And if I just sort of pull this out, I'll show you. A lot of volatility. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of want to see what's going on with it. And I'm just sort of sitting in the wings at the moment. But if I see an opportunity, you may see an order come on this, and then hopefully it'll become net positive. That's kind of the plan. Okay, so let me just drop this back, and we'll let it play out, and I'll catch you at the end, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, boys and girls, that's me stopped out. I think I made the right choice to kill things off. Let me explain why. Or at least I will do when I start figuring this lot out. Right, there we go. The first one I killed out was this one. Now, if I held it, I was right. However, the reason I killed it off is because I knew this was coming in. It's PMI at Q3, which would have caused a massive spike. Now, if I was wrong, everything I'd worked for this morning would have been gone in a heartbeat. So it was a gamble. So the sensible choice was to kill it. I wasn't bothered about the German trade because it was risk-free, and I wasn't bothered about the euro trade for the exact same reason. I'd already got the money out. Stops had been pulled to break even, so I couldn't lose no matter what happened. It was the sensible choice to take. If I'd sat and tried to ride that out and I was wrong, well, then it becomes a real problem, because as you can see, it was a quick spike, dramatically moved, but then it quickly retraced, and it may well carry on to the upside. The sensible choice is to step away, take your medicine, and look to re-enter if you need to. I don't, because I've achieved what I wanted to do. So I've got nothing running. Positions are now all out. This is today. As you can see, all the runners were taken out. That was paid peace of mind, but it was paid for by all of these positions here. And I'm not sure whether you can see it, but it's a net total down here of 415 and 30p from last night to this morning. I can live with that. I can live with that loss, because all I'm bothered about is net positives. That's the way forward. That's how you survive in this game. So what kind of lesson can you take from that? Well, one, I wanted to show the guys multiple assets in motion at the same time, to show that it can be done. Doesn't matter what market you trade, doesn't matter your direction that you're choosing, doesn't matter what your time frame is, as long as you have a plan and you work your way through it. That's exactly what I did. Will I sort of trade multiple assets like that a lot? No, I don't recommend it. I would rather stick with one. So, like, pick the DAX for argument's sake, and that's the way forward. However, this morning I did open my mouth saying I'll trade the euro. I said I'd trade the DAX as well. So I felt honor bound to do it, and I was a bit cocky with taking the cable trade as well, but that was simply because I saw the motion and I was expecting a pullback to it. As it happens, I was right, but I didn't want to weather the heat of the news, so I decided to kill it. I'd rather sleep safe and be fine. Well, sleeping safe next to her is a risk in itself.
What do you mean?
Well, I swear to God, you try and murder me in my sleep.
Why? What gives you that impression?
I'm bruised. Look at the bruise there. Look at this, boys and girls. I don't know if you can see it. Look at that.
That wasn't me.
She bit us.
I did not fit you.
Yeah, you know.
I have never bitten you.
She said, "Can I have some wine on Saturday night?" Because we'd had a few. And I said, "No, you've had enough." And she attacked me.
I think you were asleep at that point. It was weird.
See, that's even worse. Do you know how arguments are ended in this house? We don't have many arguments. In fact, I'll rephrase that. She has an argument. I just laugh my cotton socks off. But look at the size of us together. All right. She's a little tinky winky person, isn't she? She's only about that big. Little stinky winky tinky person. You know, lives in the Shire with the hobbits.
Hey!
Well, you're about that big. And I'm quite big. You know, I am literally 3 times the person she is. So when we get into an argument, it is quite funny. But she always ends it with one statement. One statement ends every argument in our house. Doesn't matter how big you are, Langley, you'll sleep. That to me is time to run away, because that's when she bites me. Look at that. Look at that. She abused me. She abused me, boys and girls. I'm a battered husband. What have you got to say for yourself, you bully?
It wasn't me.
See, people say I bully her, bugger me. It's the other way around. You've got no idea. She's vicious. Vicious, aren't you?
No.
You are.
Not at all.
You are. You're horrendous. Well, I've got the bruises. And I could have had bruises on the charts if I wasn't careful. And that's the moral of the story. Sometimes it's best to cut and run. When she starts revving up, it's time for me to cut and run.
You've got it run.
It's time for me to get the car keys. I'm leaving the house. Which is normally when she comes in from the bloody hairdressers. Look what she's done to my hair. That right?
No, not really.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll go sort the hairdresser out. Why? Because I've got to live with her. It's a lot easier. Jesus Christ. Never mind. Never mind. Story for another day. So there you go, boys and girls. If you're stuck, by all means contact me. I'm very easy found. You find all my contact details below. If you're interested in taking a funded prop fund, I've arranged for a 5% discount from the 5%ers, and broker of choice is BlackBull. Get 500 to 1 leverage. Happy days. So as always, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love, and the money you'll follow. See you all in the next one. You bully. You hurt me.